All right. Looks like we're live. Hey guys, my name is Gabriel Quinn. I am an illustrator and concept artist, or more so Viz Dev artist these days. I work on characters and story art and stuff for animation in games. And today we're going to continue with the ArtStation Challenge. We've been working on it for the past 3 streams. We're going to be hopping on again today. Same idea. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. I'm just going to chuck a link up to other social medias and stuff so people can find it if they want to find it. Sweet. Yeah, so, a bit of a clickbaity title today. I'm definitely feeling like the lack of steam on this project. It's definitely taken its toll on my, I don't know, man, creative capacity, all that stuff. What up, Mojo? Welcome to the chat. First in the chat. Nice. So we're just gonna kind of be reviewing what we have and sort of figuring out what we want to do because frankly, after pushing this design, this Miyobu design, I'm kind of like, where are we at with this project, man? So with any project like this, there are moments of doubt and confusion and, whether or not you should continue, whether or not whatever. And, the last time I got to this point, for the last challenge, I kind of decided, you know what, it's best if I just leave it here, leave it where it is and not continue. But I really want to wrap this up and publish something for sure. So we're going to try and press through today and just see if we can change our perspective, see if we want to, salvage any of these ideas and kind of like push it. So the last time on stream, we didn't even get to this point. We pretty much just had, I think it was this guy. Yeah. So we pretty much just had one kind of loose-ish idea. So we had just this guy, the kind of Miyobu Celestial Fox Guardian Ninja from the last one. What up, Ayub? In the chat as well. Welcome, guys. Welcome. But yeah, so... Ooh. Sweet. Yeah, I'm definitely like feeling the limitations of the brief for sure. Like in Neo Tokyo, it's so generic on its face and it's so like I don't know. To me, it immediately feels soulless. And even looking through a lot of the submissions, I felt very kind of like, why am I even doing this kind of thing? Oh, Ayub says, just came in to say hi and get going. Have a great live. Oh, sick, dude. Thanks for stopping in and saying what's up. I'll catch you on the next one. Yeah, also the character design challenge in the Discord went really well. So we did one yesterday. It was really fun. Here, I want to show them actually if I can. Let's see. Just want to make sure I don't open anything in the wrong. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, because it's been really cool doing the challenge. Last time we had a lot of folks join, which was cool. So we did another 2-word prompt challenge. This time the prompt was insistent season. So everybody kind of had a different take. Doing things in 1 hour is pretty hard. So this time for me, I did this idea where, let me see if I can maybe make it a little bigger. Who knows? This kind of foresty nymph calling fruits into being for all the many little guys who are going to eat the stuff. And Ayub did these great sketches of these bug people. He had a really cool idea where the environment had gotten so extreme, people had to wear bug armor and almost become like bio bugs. And Patricia did this wonderful beginning of an illustration here of kind of kindling of the lily flowers. So that was cool. And Kelly Robertson, fantastic artist and illustrator, did this great sketch of like all the seasons in one character, which was so cool. And Lashy always balls out every time. He came in with this epic kind of transcendent, god of the seasons who comes in. And AU posted more of his development sketches. So sick. It was a really, really great session. So yeah, those are really fun. And we've been learning a lot. The discussion last time was very much like understanding outcome, like what people's outcome, like how our outcomes shape our process. So for instance, one person who designs mostly for games found that it's hard for them to break out of the kind of main character idea when designing characters. Like it kind of has to be sort of a protagonist or an antagonist or something. It can't be something outside of a game context, or, for another person, it was much more revolving around like, like coming from an illustrative point of view, and how does this live in an illustration, or what is the idea here in a moment rather than a character or a concept. So the challenge really pushes everybody in a unique way and kind of reveals where you are at with your skill, which is really unique. But yeah, so let's turn our attention towards this design here. So quickly reviewing what we had last time, we designed a bunch of characters based on Japanese folklore, which was cool. And it was fun to kind of like brainstorm that kind of stuff. And then we started to kind of hit walls, when kind of thinking about like, aesthetically, how are we going to execute it? How are we going to make this work, but we're just going to keep going. So we have this cool Miyobu fox ninja, and we decided that this character is just AI. So like kind of like a mech robot character, programmable, maybe friendly, maybe not, who knows. But who is in service to this other kind of being-esque character. Let's see if we can gracefully scroll through all of our layers here, of the Nine Tails, which is this like, godlike immortal mech being that that lives in this like super insane high rise or something, like in Neo Tokyo. Like that's the idea. We wanted it to feel almost like crime lord stuff. Lashy in the chat, you are live, yo. He just finished his dragon, sick. We also got Pramod. What up, Pramod? Like Ancient One, sick. Cool. All right, we got everybody in. Let's go. Yeah, so we're kind of pushing this idea further. So, for me, when I hit this part of a project and I feel a little discouraged or a little bit kind of like, man, do I want to even do this? I've been doing it for 3 streams now. This will be the 4th stream working on this. Like, do I really want to just work on the ArtStation challenge and make that the thing I do? And sort of kind of taking it back and being like, what kind of box am I putting myself in? So much like the discussion we had in the Discord yesterday, I was thinking about what is the end result of this project for me? Like, what are these characters and what kind of purpose do I want them to serve, in my body of work? Pramada asked, how many characters do you need for the challenge? You need 6 characters. So we have a kind of beginning ideas for a few. We have the kind of Baku character, who's going to be a really cool spirit that kind of screams and dashes. And we have another one, which, don't worry, we're gonna consolidate these layers and whatnot. The Koma-Inu kind of character here, which was like this giant mech lion dog guardian. And we did a lot of explorations for the aesthetic of the armor and the mask for the Miyobu character. So like Nick said, dude, do it. We like your stream. For sure. Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep doing it. Like, I definitely want to persist through this. And this is what's so great about streaming this kind of stuff, is that it's not just me alone in my studio being like, man, it's not worth it. I'm going to throw in the towel. It was fun to come up with some ideas, but not worth it in the long run, and actually push through and say, what can we achieve? So we did a lot of mask designs and iterations before we came up with our kind of character. But then, I was pushing it a little bit more after, before throwing up the work in progress on ArtStation, which, you know what? I'm going to chuck it in the thing so you guys can see if you want. So we have, I'll put the little submission. If you guys want to follow the submission, feel free to. I'll put it in the live chat here. Where are we? Here we are. Cool. live stream. Yeah, so this was the sheet that we put up for the ArtStation challenge, you know, as kind of dropping like the first character, like, hey, here's the first character. And, you know, just to full disclosure, I'm not like an ArtStation user yet. So still putting stuff up on there. I have some stuff from a while ago, but just full disclosure. Definitely not up to date. So yeah, let's see. Ooh, just double checking something important. Let's see. Okay, great. So nothing scheduled for tonight, so I can maybe go a little bit later today. All right. Yeah. So yeah, just kind of going over this idea, kind of being like, you know, what is the end goal here? Because right now, how I have it in my mind is sort of like, okay, we have a set of characters and I want to display my capacity for designing, following a brief and doing stuff. Like, it's pretty straightforward. But, you know, the goal hasn't been like to spark joy for me yet. The goal has very much been like, I'm going to do this challenge even though it's not an attractive brief, and I'm going to make it interesting. Like, and that's too broad of a goal, I think. So let's figure out what we want our goal to be. And to do that, I think we have to look at all the work that we have so far. So we're going to do a little bit of a consolidation at the top of the file. Beep, boop, bop, boop, beep. Beep, beep, bop, bop, bop. Cool. Who else do we have? This guy we can nix. We don't need that. We don't need that. That's cool. That's cool. Cool. All right, we'll check all this in a folder. For development stuff. It's always good to keep track of all the development stuff, you know? We have the giant guy. We'll put him up here. The Ninetales kind of character. Did we have any more drawings for the Ninetales? I don't think so. I think I did like a loose scribble for the thumbnail of a video a little bit more, but we'll push it, right? We'll take this and bring it up. Oops. Cool. Hello? Looks like Photoshop is doing a bit of a weird thing right now. Might have to restart Photoshop. Sometimes it bugs out a little bit, but that is okay. All right. Oh my gosh, we got everybody in the chat. Let's go. Welcome everyone. Welcome Nabs. Welcome Seth H. Oh my gosh, Seth H. First time catching you live. Let's go. Welcome. So, okay. Luckily I have no NDA on this device right now, so we're good there. Yeah, and just so you guys know, I'll answer any design question, you know, regarding the project or whatever. If you have any questions about life, about artistry and all that stuff, definitely feel free to ask. All right, 1, 2, 3, and then we need one more for the Baku character. Sick. Okay, so So what we have that's clear is we kind of have this, like, you know, Baku spirit idea of this maybe renegade character who like eats nightmares, supposedly, right? We have another character. We don't really know where their allegiance lies. Right now they're a person and not a machine. We have this Miyobu fox, which is a mech. So that's one of the mechs. We have the Ninetales, which is actually a person, but people think it's maybe like a omnipresent AI. Like, I don't quite know how we sell the idea of like immortality here, but we'll figure it out. And then we have the Koma Inu as well, which is like another kind of mech guardian. So we have two explicit kind of mech characters. Let's rename some of these. So we have everything. Cool. And then we also want to figure out what kind of finishing style we want to go with. Initially, I was thinking something along the lines of some past work I did, like this guy. But I'm kind of thinking maybe we want to go in a different direction. There's also the reality of deadlines, man. So the ArtStation challenge ends in like maybe around 2 weeks from now. So we only have about 2 weeks to wrap up this whole challenge. So we may have to reel in our expectations and kind of come at it with some like fresh goals or perspective here. Cool. Alrighty. Right. Also, sorry if my energy is a little bit low today. I'm adjusting to a new sleep schedule, trying to get on that healthy sleep rhythm and a bit of a crash. So we'll sip some coffee and we'll be feeling pretty good pretty darn soon. Once we start drawing, we'll feel a lot better. Cool. Me with my giant iced coffee, as per usual. Okay, sweet. So let's jump right in. I'm a little far from my screen right now, but I want to make sure I stay in frame. I had to take a bunch of Zoom meetings, so like I don't know if my camera is properly facing me anymore. Let's see. There we go. There we go. That's a little too punched in though, isn't it? It's kind of weird. Cool. Oh, wow, guys. This is pretty exciting. We have our very first spam in the chat. Let's go. Let's go ahead and report this. This is unwanted commercial content or spam. So epic. Wow, that's actually kind of cool. We got our first spammer in the live chat, guys. That means we're popping off. That means we're doing pretty well. Yo, it's in. Let's go. Let's go. We are growing. Exactly, right? We're drawing mech foxes and getting spam messages. All right. Let's get hype. We started low energy, started a little bit pessimistic, but let's do it. Oh, you got F.A. What up, buddy? F.A.'s a good friend from Italy, a good Italian homie. Good to see you, man. Hope you're well. All right. Let's see. What are we gonna do here? We need a better story. That's what we need. We literally need a better story here. We need a clear storyline. So, okay. Here's a story ideas I'll throw at you guys really quickly. So only under great tyranny can great heroism be distinct and really appear. That's what makes a lot of stories that you see more compelling. So we got to figure out what our great tyranny is, right? Nice. All right. Glad you're well, F.A. Let's go. Yeah, I'm so well, man. Life is good. We're making ideas. Okay, so who's the big bad? Big bad is... I'm going to say it's the Ninetales Fox character. Ninetales. Like, but what are they? Are they a person? They're definitely a person. But who are they? Like a matriarch? We'll do matriarchal. We're going to do matriarch villain. Matriarch. I'm going to guess that's how you spell matriarch. Don't come at me. Isabel will tell me if it's wrong. So. Ah, sick. A lot of catch up in the chats. Let's go. Yeah, I hope you're well too, Pramod. I hope all's going well in the 3D life and everything. So what's the core conflict of the world? Core conflict. My girlfriend, when I was mentioning better sleep schedule, my girlfriend said, instead of circadian rhythm, circadian rhythm. Oh my god. My last brain cell is fighting for his life. My goodness. Cool, cool, cool. All right. All right, all right. Oh man, she's the ultimate keeper, dude. Let's go. Conflict. All right, what's the conflict in the world? So we have Neo Tokyo. So actually, this is a great world building exercise. We haven't done that yet, which is probably why I don't feel gripped by the project. I need a good story, man. So we started from nothing. We developed a character a little bit out of context. Doesn't feel super strong. So we need some more foundations to stand on. So we have Neo Tokyo. Neo Tokyo as an idea is, wait, sick. Oh, cool. Cool. Oh, okay. So Nick says maybe pure oxygen or clean water or like rare trees and stuff. Yeah. Okay. We got some stuff to play with. Maybe like bonsai, some bonsai stuff going on. So in Neo Tokyo, what's the conflict? I want to say the conflict is like seeming utopia, but actually dystopia. You know, like there's, you know, like a daytime horror. You know, something like that. Something like everything seems fine, but really it's not. That's what I like am feeling drawn towards. However, I like the idea that government has been completely dissolved, right? I like the idea that like it's totally run by money, free market. Basically, a criminal underworld has become the overworld, essentially. But it doesn't look like crime, even though it is. So the idea that maybe there's like a monopoly, basically, like a clan monopoly or something. Okay. Neo Tokyo, subtitle, you know, warring clans. But there's become a monopoly. So we're coming into the world after there's been a monopoly, and the monopoly is like the Nine Tails runs everything, right? And the Nine Tails wins every duel because they settle things with duels, maybe? Oh, maybe they settle things with duels. That's some cool thing. Neo Tokyo, hyper traditionalist. Okay, we like that. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Hyper traditionalist. Boom. Which can happen when a country starts popping off. You know, that happened in Japan towards World War II. They became hyper traditional. Let's see. Pramod says criminals, Illuminati, establishment control. Yeah, dude. We'll do Illuminati for sure. Heck yeah. Well, it's kind of sort of Illuminati-esque, right? Lashy says, sorry, I was AFK. Dude, don't even worry about it. We're good. I'm okay talking to the void. It's all good. I'm talking to myself, really. Man. Okay, so we're working at the story right now. So we have Neo Tokyo, a futuristic world with wonderful technology, right? And then there's these kind of warring clans. How the world came to be, right, was maybe there's like, you know, three major clans or something like that, and then kind of like an upstart clan like usurped all of them kind of deal. And then maybe they all have to work together to regain balance. I like that idea. I like the idea that they have to regain balance. Franco Vecchi says, like a veil? Sort of. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, I guess. Right? Yeah, I would say so. Probably. Also, welcome, Franco. See, you're new to the chat. Welcome to the stream. So, what do we got going on? All right. We've got Neo Tokyo. All right, we've got warring clans. They've become hyper traditionalist in this future. The Ninetales has taken advantage of this and kind of like risen to power, like a matriarchal force. So it's a woman, definitely, but maybe no one knows that. Do they know that? What would be good if they knew that? What would be good? What would it give the story if everyone knew it? I think it would be tonally interesting because maybe speaking from like a feminine perspective, her powers of politics are like more unique. Maybe the kind of leaders of all these things are dudes, you know, these dudes who had no idea how to handle it. You know, they had no idea how to handle. These are all scribbles, but in my mind, like these are skyscrapers, and these are like guys standing on top of the skyscrapers. I don't know why I drew it like that. It's silly, but it's like how my brain works. Mojo says, what if there's like a kid named the Avatar and he has to restore balance and there's different types of elemental bending? That sounds like a great idea. That sounds like an idea you could pitch. Maybe to Nickelodeon. I don't know. Let's have another sip of our coffee since we're going to be crushing it. Okay. That helps us. So I like the idea that maybe we have 3 characters that are under the control of the Ninetales, which we already have the Ninetales. We have the Miyobu assassin. Maybe we have another character. And then our other 3 characters are 3 from the other world, right? And you can kind of infer stuff. So for instance, we could name this guy. So this guy's the Kama Inu kind of giant creature, but we could name it, like spirit guardian, blah, 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 servant of, boss, Sasuke or whatever, right? Like Sasuke's will. Boom. That's cool, right? So that implies that it belongs to someone. So you can kind of include a character in the story without including the character, and that can be this guy right here. So this could be the character, but we just like have a little side silhouette, implying like that's who owns the character, that's allowed. Who cares? You know what? Who cares what's allowed, guys? We're here to have fun. We're here to have a good time. And if the judges are like, that's too many guys, then we just slayed too many times. Simple as that. Nick says all characters are family members and they are fighting to become head of family. Yeah, so we could do that. That's like that we could do. That definitely crossed my mind for sure. For sure. It's striking a little close to maybe what people would expect. The idea of like families coming together, like heads of families coming together, I personally think is a little more interesting. Me personally. But hey, Mojo says circular Gabe moment. Yeah, it's true. Circular Gabriel dropping wisdom. Alrighty. Isma, get the poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison. Okay. So, we have our Miyobu character. All right. Let's wrap this up. Let's set this up. So, then that helps a lot because maybe the Baku character is like someone's daughter. Boss, boss. I don't know many Japanese names. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I apologize. Let's just pull up some names, man. Placeholder. right? So adding that lore in, Nick says, what better politics than family politics? Honestly, buddy, fair enough. Fair enough. Myth Conception says, howdy, Gabe. What up, Myth Conception? Welcome to the chat. Bosshar's daughter. Okay. So then we got to deck these characters out, right? They got to be like sick. So we have the daughter of one of the bosses. We have like the mech of another boss. And then we have... It's got to feel wild, right? Okay, I think I have this wrapped up. I think I know what we're doing. So... I think we're going to do the... We're going to do the... what's his name? What are the guys? You know the guys with the nose? Tangu. We're going to do it. We're going to do a Tangu. You got to do a Tangu. So I think the motif we want to have is that Myth Conception says, why begrudgingly? Because oh man, Neo Tokyo, it's really taken its toll on me, the brief. It's really taken its toll. I forgot to do an intro for what the challenge even is. So we're already like 30 minutes in, but I'll do a quick recap of what the challenge is. So ArtStation is a website where people post their artwork, you know, usually in production, animation, games, but a lot of illustrators and a lot of just, you know, great artists posting their stuff on there. And every year they host a challenge where you can participate in creating keyframes, characters, props, whatever. And anybody can join. So we're joining the character design challenge. And the prompt this year is Neo Tokyo. So we've taken all the spirits, or we've taken many spirits of Japanese folklore and myth and converted them into some cool guys doing stuff. Okay. So this is going to help, right? So ultimately, I think that the Tangu is going to be somebody's son. I'm pretty sure. I like the idea that it's like the kids of these like mob bosses are like these like masked agents of chaos. And then like a giant mech guy too, obviously. So he has like the mask. It's like looking over. Or maybe all the families have fallen and all the bosses were killed. So their children are like rallying together to like abolish. Maybe they're trying to like abolish the aristocracy altogether. They're trying to like return Japan to like a democracy. Fighting for democracy would be cool. Like fighting to dissolve the criminal structure. That kind of helps the underground element of it, and it helps that maybe like they've seen the effects by being children of these bosses, and it's like they yeah we could do a cool thing, and he's got like maybe his family sword, traditional family sword, and it's like just so cool. Like it's just dope as heck, like super ornate, jaded out, just sick as heck. Cool sword, swing. And he defeats He defeats the nine-tailed fox with the help of the other guys. He defeats them, and they restore balance. They restore it. So it's kind of like the three heads were lopped off, replaced by a seemingly good, all evil character. And then they are destroyed, and the children of these folks serve as they like kick off the democracy. That's cool. We could even put this little graph like on the Ninetales Fox's character page, showing their rise to power. Like, we can do that. That's actually sick. FA says, man, it has been a minute since I thought about ArtStation Challenge. I'm sure you'll kill it. Yeah, maybe if I can actually finish it. I don't think I will, but we will see. It's time to push ourselves a little bit, you know? The streams have been very chill, but we want to go hard for a bit. Maybe come up with something dope. Okay, so we got the Miyobu. Boom. We'll probably do a better drawing for the Miyobu, but I like this pose on the side. It's kind of sick. I like it a lot. The crossed arms vibe, you know? It's kind of cool. The big poofy thing at the end. Because this is not enough energy. We needed something like pretty crazy here. Something like... Right? Way more. You need way more there. Okay, sick. Confidence pose. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm just a confident guy. That's me. All right. So, going back to our world building, we've got it. We've got it figured out. Whoosh and swish sound. Let's go. Exactly. Okay, so that means we have 2 human characters, 1 mech character on the side, which means we need 2 mech characters and 1 human character on the Ninetale side. So we could do a kind of plot twist, maybe, that like someone's controlling the Ninetales. Like, we could do... Nah, that's lame. That's lame. When you see a lineup, that's lame. No, we want like a badass villain. This epic badass Ninetales demon villain. Supposed to be this like immortal god that's like, you know, in control of Tokyo, right? Under rule. We need more, right? Let's see. Another guy. So wait, we need two mechs. So if the Ninetales is a person, then it's then it needs 2 kind of robot underlings. But if it itself is like an AI as well, and it's the villain, that has options. Maybe the idea is that the Ninetales, because so Kitsune, right? That idea of the Kitsune and the Ninetales is like a super wise feminine archetype, I'm pretty sure. Wait, let's look it up. Wait, we had it here. Kitsune. Yeah. The Kitsune fox appearance across Japan. They identify wild foxes and elsewhere in the world. Patterns. Cute faces, small size. 2 major variants of Kitsune. Holy foxes are servants of the Shinto deity Inari. Inari shrines are decorated with statues and images of these foxes. Legend tell of celestial foxes providing wisdom or services to good and pious humans. These holy foxes act as messengers of the gods and mediums between the celestial and human worlds. They often protect humans or places, provide good luck, and ward evil spirits away. More common are the wild foxes, which delight in mischief, pranks, or evil. These are stories in which wild foxes trick or even possess humans and cause them to behave strangely. Despite this wicked nature, even wild foxes keep their promises, remember friendships, and repay any favors done for them. So here's something that comes up for me, which I'm thinking about now, is that we could have an idea of a character that starts off as maybe being an AI created like as a servant, you know, almost like as a Madame Tussauds or whatever, like a kind of like an AI oracle, right? Where people ask or whatever. And maybe the AI actually deems that no one is pious and thus creates some kind of totalitarian rule. I don't know, though. I don't know. That's like one idea. Oh, Nick says maybe he has a face with two personalities. Oh, interesting for the other guy, maybe. LT Klutzy. Also, welcome to the chat, Klutzy. It's been a minute. Welcome. Klutzy says, how do you not let perfection affect you sharing your art on social media? Personally, I tend to get a lot self-critical and hence avoid posting because it doesn't match the benchmark I set in my mind. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Or a great question, rather. How do you not let perfection affect you sharing your art on social media? I mean, I think a lot of people actually have the answer already in their mind when asking that question of like how to not let perfectionism stop you. But let's talk about it, you know? So what comes up for me, right, is this idea that, and this is usually, I feel like, what people want to hear when they ask this question, which is like, hey man, your perfectionist voice is not true. It's not an authentic judge of your work. And that you should post anyway because sharing is good and being free with your creation is good and not being too hard on yourself is good. Like that's what immediately comes up. But I think that like getting more to the root of it or addressing more of the root of it might be relevant here since it's such a common question for people. I think that we need to backtrack a little bit to why we do any of this. Like, why do you even draw, man? Like, why do you draw? Why do you make art? Why would you even want to share it? Like, what's the motivation to share the work, you know? If the motivation to share the work is to get some kind of like momentum, and then you kind of build a following, and out of that following, you're able to maybe make some kind of monetary gain happen or something. If that's your motivation, then perfectionism is going to play a super big role in that because it's a long way till an average person can reach that point of financial gratification from social media, right? So if that's your expectation, if you're looking at Loish being like, or Loish, I can't ever remember how it's said, and going like, oh, I need that, or I want that kind of, I would love to have that kind of attention. Every time you post, you're thinking, is this going to take me there? And that's not good, man. Like that's not going to work, unfortunately. So I think it's worth really taking a stand for yourself and kind of saying like, what the hell am I in this for? Like, why do I do art? Why do I draw? I think ultimately it's an especially existential question recently because in the past few years, because there are so many artists and there is so much development and things happening right now, you know? And especially with AI and everything, like people feel so discouraged and so like they're screaming into a void, you know? So like, especially with Instagram or other, you know, media sharing platforms, like you're instantly met with a number that evaluates your work. You're instantly met with either comments or people validating you or not. And you don't know how many smiles you've left on people's faces that day. People just don't comment on stuff sometimes, you know? But also, you know, when you say personally, I tend to get self-critical and avoid posting. because it doesn't meet the benchmark. What is that benchmark? Why do you have it? Like, really, why do you have it? Do you have the benchmark because you want to hit a quality bar so that, you're consistent and you're consistently killing it and you're consistently blah, 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 and all this stuff? It's like, it's good to have goals. It's good to have benchmarks too. But if you're not producing anything, then it's kind of like you're going to run out of steam super quickly because you're not making anything that's worth the benchmark. That discourages you from drawing. You don't improve and you don't ever reach the benchmark. Whereas, like, from a pure function point of view, if you are constantly like sharing your work, just putting it out and making new work and putting it out and making new work, that kind of flow, not only does it take the pressure off of posting because you're just doing it, it's not something that you're thinking about a lot, but it actually just keeps that rhythm of growth and like continuity in your development, which is good. Also, even if, and this is real, klutzy, even if you hit that benchmark, you're going to look back in a year and go, oh my God, that was my benchmark. Wow. I can't believe that was my benchmark. I'm so much better now. That's like such a low benchmark, So instead of when people ask that question of, I get self-critical when I want to post or I want to engage online, but I don't feel up to it. It's like, dude, everybody feels that way. Your favorite artists feel that way. I feel that way all the time. So how do we get over it? Going back, stepping back, right? We always want to look at what premise are we standing on, because that defines how we see things. If your premise is like, oh, this needs to show all that I am, all who I am, all my skill, all that I'm worth, then dude, it's going to petrify you. But if you're standing from a place of like, you know what? I'm an artist because I want to create for the benefit of mankind, whatever that is, right? I want to spark joy. I want to, create meaningful images that spark thought and reflection. I want to create warmth in people's lives. I want to create art that is like aspirational, like people want to aspire to the aesthetics of my work or whatever, right? Or I want to express my sadness and give people an outlet to empathize with that sadness. No matter what it is, it's like it's an offering, right? Actionable advice, because all of these things never have any actionable advice. So actionable advice would be to throw every expectation that you have on yourself out the window completely. And to kind of go like, okay, who do I want to be in 5 years? Like 5 years from now, not a year from now, not a month from now, like 5 years from now, who do I want to be? All of a sudden, what you're doing now doesn't hit as hard because you're going to be looking back at it from 5 years in the future. So just get after it, man. Make some sketches, have fun, and post them, dude, because it's like you're not going to go viral off your sketches now. I mean, I don't know your work, but it's like it's not going to give you the kind of gratification you think it's going to be, and putting all that expectation is just too high. Emmy's in the chat. What up, Emmy? Also, I see everybody's been typing in the chat. I just want to wrap this up because it's important. So actionable advice, really figure out who you want to be in 5 years and say like, all right, what steps am I going to take now, rather than how can I constantly prove my worth all the time with everything I post, because that is not going to work. And you're not going to grow as much as you would have if you didn't care. And then also read the book or get the audiobook, The Creative Act by Rick Rubens. 100% would recommend that. Funnily enough, this question was actually asked in the Discord, and I haven't gotten a chance to answer it yet, but this exact question was asked in the Discord, and I'm planning on doing a fun little whatchamacallit, kind of like round table where everyone can kind of hop in voice chat and just chat about social media, because it's a really hard topic for people, but it's important to get to the bottom of. But thanks for asking the question, and I hope that the answer is satisfactory. So let's take a look in the chat now and see here what we got going on. So this is referenced back to the project. All right. Exiting advice mode, going back into design mode. Cool. Let's see here. Lashy says, but that's so cool, actually. Like, people believe it's an evil fox, but it's actually controlled by someone very mysterious. And the plot is that no one knows. Like, bad guys and good guys don't know. Okay, interesting. Like ambiguity. There's ambiguity. No one knows who controls the fox. That is interesting. Maybe no one knows who designed it. We'll see. We'll see. Pramod said Ninetales AI that takes over the world. Wow, you said it. Ninetales giant, maybe not giant mech, but we did have an idea where the Ninetales is pretty much like 9 feet tall, so like just taller than most people, because scale really matters a lot. Myth Conception says backseat arting, mechanical tails, 3 different elements per set of 3 tails. That would be a lot, but we could try, for sure. We could try, see how it looks. Nick says he has armor that lets his life force or something that transfers into another armor when he's losing a fight. That's why he always wins or survives. Okay, interesting. FA says that's a loaded question. Sound advice. Okay, well, I hope it was sound advice. It is a loaded question, and it's always dangerous because there's usually 2 options with that advice of like, I am self-conscious, what do I do? The two roads are usually enabling and being like overly compassionate and to the point of like being patronizing, or being overly brutal. Like, you gotta grind and you gotta do this and you gotta do that and blah, 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 blah. And like, come on, man. Both of those things don't work. Cool. My girlfriend's funny. Cool. Miss says only 3 elements. No, I get what you mean, for sure. Lashy says, and later on they get their mind blown by understanding that some small bug controls the big Ninetales. I do like the idea that maybe there's like an error of programming, you know, like that this character initially was like a kind of like maybe even some kind of like pleasure bot idea, you know, how people have like, you know, I mean, especially now people have like AI girlfriends and stuff. Like, could be something maybe along those lines. Like, it used to be like a cartoonish kind of AI that would like grant knowledge to people, but that, you know, after seeing or like an error in programming or something, and it was a unique design, there was only one, after like an error in programming, it like upgraded itself and became this intense, strange like pseudo deity, right? Emmy says he's a cute little cutie patootie with some normal homicidal tendencies. No need to judge. Cool. So we want to avoid cliche, and we want to avoid. Well, the reason we want to avoid cliche is because we want to do very interesting narrative things. We don't really want to do narrative things that people are like, oh, it's this. Like, we want to kind of go like, oh, okay. Like, that's the reaction we want. And there is a time and a place for like, oh, it's just this. Like, oh, he's Darth Vader. That's your character. That's what it is. LT Klutzy says, wow, thank you so much, Gabriel. It really cleared everything. Helped a ton. I've saved this part, and whenever this thought strikes me again, this will be my rescue. Thanks, brother. Dude, of course. And here's the thing also, like, you don't have to get it all right now. Like, using myself as an example, you know, for me and my social media journey and stuff, like, there was a time where I was like hustling, man. I was posting every day, and, you know, it was all my stuff, my style, things I wanted to do, but I was posting every day, you know, and I was like on it, and, you know, I started to get engagement, and like something I made got on the explore page, and then a bunch of people saw it, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you know, things started ramping up, and I hit like 3K, and I was like, whoa, I hit 3K. That's crazy. And I did a draw this in your style. 2 weeks later, I hit 10K. And then after that, I just stopped posting. That was like a year and something ago. I just like stopped posting pretty much. Like it was like a weird thing of like, I got the number I wanted and I was like, oh, wait, like what am I doing? And the thing is that the second I hit 10K, I started looking at all the accounts that had like 100K and I was like, oh dude, like I'm like nothing, you know, these guys have like 100K and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I'm sure those people, you know, look at Loish or whatever. They're like, wow, 2 million, 1 million. Wow. So, you know, there are cycles that we go through of growth. And for me, my most recent push to have that kind of transparency and openness has actually been through streaming, because Instagram was just feeling so stale and it's just become like reels and a bunch of random stuff. And I'm like, I want to just be a person. Like, I don't want to be a brand. I want to be a guy. And the easiest way to be a guy is just to be live on YouTube. So I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy right now drawing robot foxes. So I'm glad that helped you, Klutzy. And I actually, you know, there are like certain sections of past streams that maybe I want to like clip out and like maybe post in the community tab and kind of be like, hey, like this clip was about this or this was about this. So people can kind of go back, like cause like I've been like breaking stuff down on stream, but people don't want to sift through like a 2-hour video, right? So if I have like 10 minutes on like, hey, here's how to world build, literally, then that's good, right? Or even what we just did earlier, which was like breaking down the story of like, what's our setting? Neo Tokyo, there's warring clans that control it. They've become hyper traditional. That tradition gets thrown on its head by a hyper crazy AI, and the AI gets toppled by the children of that broken system. Like, that's cool. Done. Like that. Boom, baby. But that's process. That's not like I'm really smart. It's like that's just storytelling process we go through. Okay, sick. Okay. So we've decided that we have. Let's just do a quick establishment of characters here. Seth H says, I hate reels. Oh man, me too. Let's see here. Seth H says, I wish a lot of artists weren't posting reels so much because I really just want to look at their work, not spastically edited 10-second videos of the process. Man, yeah. I feel that. You know, there's nothing like a moving image to just grab your attention. And they finally realized that. And so everybody's become a media machine. Every single person has become a media machine. You can't just be an artist who draws. You have to be an artist who draws and edits videos and mixes it with music and does this and includes this effect and this caption and this voiceover saying this kind of stuff, having these tags. Like, you can't just be a guy, man. I miss a simpler time. Yes. Old head moment. Myth Conception says AI is always chaotic neutral, literally only existing to continue its existence. Yeah, maybe. Well, it's interesting you say that. Let's think about that. AI is always chaotic neutral, literally only existing to continue its existence. You know, we have that expectation because we've been given that in a lot of media, and we've expected that from a lot of content or certain ideas or theories. But, you know, is that actually true? Is AI always chaotic neutral? And also, does it only exist to continue its existence? Like, so let's say, for instance, this example, right? Because if isn't sentient. Okay. I mean, even so, like let's think about it. So like from our context, right? Because like shifts can happen. Also, everything is always on a scale, right? So like, you know, I use this example when explaining world building to a couple people recently. I'll do a video about this. But you know, like let's say you have like Jafar in Aladdin, right? I don't remember how Jafar looks. Does he have a mustache? Let's say he has a mustache and a goatee. You have Jafar. you know? Jafar is evil in the world of Aladdin. He's an evil guy. He's got an evil parrot, you know? And he's like a wizard and he does stuff. Jafar, Aladdin's got a lamp. So we've got Jafar. And Jafar is the biggest bad evil in this world. But all of a sudden, you put Jafar next to, like, you know, Sauron from Lord of the Rings, right? Literal murder guy who, like, corrupted a ton of people. His mask is a thing and blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, Jafar is like comedy relief in comparison, right? It's like farcical next to it. So then after that, you know, we kind of go like, okay, well then, you know, let's take a character like Batman. You know what I mean? I am the night. I am Batman. I'm Bruce Wayne. I take micro naps. I'm Bruce Wayne. So we have Batman, right? Batman is like, he's a hero when next to characters like the Joker, because the Joker is like literally like just murder dude doing all sorts of stuff, you know what I mean? Next to Penguin, all these people who like do torture, murder, all this stuff, right? Everything. So when in that world, Batman is the hero, you know, even though Batman's like breaking people's legs and like doing really intense stuff, all these things, right? So then if you put Batman next to, in like the world of like, I don't know, man, like let's choose something relatable or like regular. Batman's in the world of what? What would be a good contrast? Man. Like, even let's say Avatar The Last Airbender. Let's put Batman and Avatar The Last Airbender, right? Batman in this world would kind of be seen as a villain, to be honest. Right? If you put Batman in the world of Avatar, because Batman, you know, he uses extreme violence. He kind of like locks people up in a strange way. He's really intense, right? Or even, yeah, myth conception is real life. True. Right? If you put Batman in that context, all of a sudden he's now almost villainous, like way more gray area than he was before. So all these things contrast, right? So when you put a character next to another character, or when you put a character through a certain sequence, contrast happens. Oh, we got Manic in the chat. What up, Manic? Manic is a sick character artist. Definitely go follow Manic. Or Manic, sorry. I can't remember how to correctly pronounce the name. But yeah, back to our lineup. So if we have big bad foxy lady, maybe, because we're thinking about contrast, right? So maybe the foxy lady kind of it's all good. Sick. I am vengeance. I'm vengeance. So true for Batman. Okay. So if we have the fox and the fox is AI, like let's say, right, because we got a definition of kitsune, right, which was sick because we really want to pull from actual myth. So let's say that this being gives wisdom, gifts, services to good and pious people. Like, let's say that was kind of implicit in the programming of this being. Like, maybe this was kind of like a court programmed AI, right? Sort of as like a check maybe for rulers or royalty to kind of see like, hey, you're not so good, you're this, you're that, you're whatever. And maybe like a diplomat kind of AI, right? Multi-purposed AI creature, wholly unique, completely unique. But after witnessing so much maybe injustice, all that stuff, right? And nobody's really paying this being any mind, right? Nobody's really paying this kind of AI any mind because they're totally power driven and ignoring any kind of moral compass because, they're these like mob bosses who answer to no one. I think it's like you could make an argument, or you could set up a situation where, given that programming or that system that the AI is in, that they feel like, okay, things need to change. Like there are actually I need to fulfill my purpose and like to give wisdom to good, pious people. I need to fulfill my purpose, but there are no good, pious people, because they're where they are at is only among these like denizens of these mob bosses and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. So maybe we say, and that kind of helps sell the illusion, because any kind of good person who maybe is in contact with this Ninetales being, who goes to see this Ninetales being, kind of says like, oh, you know what? Like, wow, so wise, and I was rewarded for my goodness, and I was this and I was that, or something like that. But really, like, this fox hasn't been given enough data to determine whether or not you're good or bad. Like maybe ignorance of a person is the only way that this creature like knows, or something like that, which kind of gives more credence to the Miyobu character. So then we have the servant, the Miyobu servant, right? The Miyobu servant is constantly monitoring, constantly listening, constantly relaying information back. And this information kind of maybe tells the Ninetales like what people are up to, or like what's going on. So it's almost like a proxy, right? Think like Odin and his crows, like that kind of idea. We have like an all powerful figurehead of a structure. And I actually don't need the headphones today. I forgot I was not on call. You have like a all powerful head of a structure, and they're sort of like subservient, or they're lesser like underlings that feed them information, right? So we have those two archetypes here. We have the Ninetales, like all powerful being. Maybe they grow a third eye. I gotta stop putting third eyes on characters though. Whatever. And then we have their servant, which we've kind of designed already. So that would be the Miyobu we have here. Like this character's always listening, always around, kind of an assassin, will show up, will gut you, disappear, all these different things, right? But sort of like the red hand of the Ninetales. Like you don't see the Ninetales ever executing people or exacting its justice, but this Miyobu being will, But I do like the idea that maybe the Ninetales is really kind to children, and like really, really kind and like compassionate, because a child doesn't have the capacity to be like unjust or evil or anything. Like they're a product of their environment. If a child does something like super wacky, it's like on their parents, in many ways. Just got a text from Isabel saying Iago has a name. Excellent. Also, she also said like oh my gosh, tongue twister moment. Like Plankton's computer wife Karen from SpongeBob. Yeah, the Ninetales is basically just Plankton's computer wife, essentially. Okay, so we have the Ninetales servant. We need a human, that's part of this roster. But what does the human do, right? Because this seems like a pretty self-sustaining running system. Myth Conception says, what if the Miyobu is a disgruntled child? I was kind of thinking about that. I was thinking maybe the third character on that side is a child who befriends the Miyobu. And like maybe like through the child talking to the Miyobu's philosophy changes, because the Miyobu has different programming. The Miyobu's programming is to be a protector, right? Be a protector and like a keeper of like the peace, essentially. So like that programming is abused by the Ninetales. The Ninetales kind of overrides it. So I'm wondering if like a child restores the Miyobu's agency. And I was thinking there would be like maybe another version of the Miyobu where it's like Miyobu liberated, and like maybe it's been like painted over and scrawled over like by the child. So like the eyes and stuff are still there, but like instead of the red paint, the red and gold paint, like maybe it's been like almost what's the word I'm looking for? Like blacked out. Yeah, so like, and maybe, you know, I mean, with this kind of cyberpunky stuff, like of course we could do like a big like X over it. Like that's always kind of cool. But a huge part of the premise is like the desecration of these ideas, right? These myths. So we have like the Miyobu Guardian is actually an assassin and like a secret gatherer, and we have the Nine Tails, which is supposed to be this like, you know, this deity that's like good and immortal and like all this stuff, but is actually like highly corrupt. And then we have, you know, the Koma Inu, which has been like originally programmed for like mob activity and stuff, but has been now reprogrammed to like, you know, help in the upliftment or whatever. And then we have like some honoring, so like the Baku is like a cool archetype they're trying to liberate and use, and then also the Tangu as well. So it's kind of like the desecration of these ideas and the restoration of these ideas, you know, leaning a lot into the ambiguity and kind of making things that are overt maybe more ambiguous. Cool. Excellent. I love it. Cool. All right, so I think we're getting somewhere. Starting to get somewhere. No, I think the restored Miyobu would be like spiraled out with like cool paints that like the kid has done or something. Truly of the clouds. That kind of thing. Like that would be kind of like Miyobu restored vibe. Right? Okay, cool. Well, that would be fun if the third character was just a kid. Like a really cute kid. Maybe the kid is the son of like a master mechanic. So the kid's kind of like a mechanic. Well, that kind of goes back into our original idea. We had another idea of like a master mechanic character. We could have like a savant kid, you know? That's allowed. We're allowed to have like a savant character. That would add the human element that we needed. So we have AI. We got to come up with a better name than AI though. And we have a child. And then they're kind of unified, right? So we can even have like in the child's character sheet, we could have like the restored Miyobu on their sheet, kind of like Miyobu restored, like with them, you know? That'd be like kind of cool maybe. Wait, that's really cute. Okay, we got storytelling. We've got storytelling up the wazizzle, baby. Let's go. Okay, see? This is why we don't quit. This is why we push through. On the other side, we have, who do we have? We have, oh, maybe this is the younger brother of the Tangu brother. That'd be cool, right? It's kind of giving Big Hero 6 a little bit. So we have Tangu brother. Tangu brother is like intense, maybe, I'm thinking. Like, where does his philosophy come from? He's seen people die. Maybe he saw his whole family die. And so he's decided, like, you know what, none of this should continue. Like, knowing that even his family's past success came from blood. He's like, blood should not grant power or like riches or whatever. Like, he's like intense. He's got an intense philosophy. And he's highly protective over his younger brother, for sure. Who meets the fox like out on like a balcony. They like meet somehow. Like the kid's tinkering with something like on a balcony. You know, making a little thing, and the Miyobu is just like watching. Or something. Right? Nick says, child born with the mark of Spirit Miyobu. You know, it could very well be. We could very well do something like that. It's like that character in Vikings who was like born with the serpent in the eye, prophesized. It's kind of cool. All right, let's do a time check here. It's 3:40 for me. So I'm going to go for another. We got to sort the story out at least, right? Right? At least. I'll probably work on this off stream as well, because I will say it's hard to get stuff done on the stream while answering questions and talking to people, or like, you know, staying active. So it's cool to do a lot of the theory work live though. That's been really fun. So on this side we have the Tangu mask guy. And we have the Baku mask girl. Oh my god. Romance? Guys, romance? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are you seeing what I'm seeing right here? Maybe I just missed my girlfriend. No, I think it's romance. I think it's romance, guys. Love is in the air between these two. They're working together. They're working nights together. It's over. You're working nights with someone. It's over. Just joking. However, there's potential. So then what's the shot? The shot is then the giant guardian the Tangu. The Tangu here, holding the sword, the giant, badass, epic sword of doom. The only sword maybe in the whole thing, other than the sword of the Nine Tails. So then we got the creature coiling around. And then we have the Baku in the foreground. Or something. We'll figure it out. Because we got to make this work on a character sheet, all of them together. So it's got to have like a versus moment too, pretty much. Which I think it would be nice if the Nine Tails was maybe ambiguous, like totally like didn't care, like totally not even recognizing that there like is a antagonistic force, you know? Myth Conception says, this has got me pumped to work on my own story ideas. Thanks, Gabe. Dude, that's all I want out of the stream, is I want people to have more tools to tell their stories. Because a lot of people can draw and make art, but they don't know how to craft their stories beyond, cliche or beyond kind of like very basic ideas. So we want to kind of liberate out, Does that make sense? Democratize the knowledge. Some people talk about it in a cool way. Well, people say stuff like, you need story. You need story. Story is king. Everybody says story is king, and you need story, and focus on story, and do story. But people may even be like, oh, and this is the story of this, or this, you look at the emotion here, or there's a story here, but no one really talks about like the actual, well, I shouldn't say that. There probably are. But for me, I haven't been exposed to a lot of content that is like, hey, are you stumped on your story? Here's how to work backwards, figure out where you're missing stuff, fill in those gaps, and see the answers appear in front of you. Because that's what it is. Your story should feel like a kind of like a slow build of like, oh, of course this. Oh, of course that. Oh, of course this. One of my favorite parts of the Making of Arcane series, one of my favorite parts was when one of the producers who came on later as kind of like script doctor-esque kind of role came in and had the idea of like, we can't start with this is Arcane spoilers, just by the way, skip 30 seconds ahead or something if you haven't seen Arcane. But like, we can't start with Silco being drowned in the river. We can't start with that. It actually should start with Vi and Jinx on the bridge. That's who it should start with. And it's like, duh, of course it begins and ends with Vi and Jinx. Myth Conception says, would totally recommend Creative Inc. by Ed Catmull. Oh, fantastic book. Excellent book. Also Story, the book Story by Robert McKee. Fantastic book. It covers a lot of basics and theory for people. It's really good. Really good. Also, watching a lot of video essays is great on your favorite content media and stuff maybe you haven't seen. Video essays are awesome. Okay, so we have the Tangu guy. We have the Baku woman who's someone's daughter, right? Maybe their clans were warring. Swing. They have to work together, even though their family's been killing each other for generations. They have to work together begrudgingly. Begrudging, call back to the title, guys. And then they actually find love. And then who knows what the future builds. They leave war and crime behind and become humble farmers. Maybe they run a garden in the city. They restore the city back to its former glory or something. And the little brother is like, oh, wow, I have parent figures that are ambiguous and strange. This happens in movies a lot and we're okay with it. Yay. No, it's actually amazing when a child who loses their parents can have like a pseudo parent and their older sibling and their significant other. That's a beautiful thing. Very beautiful thing. Coffee is so good. I love coffee so much. We were out of oat milk in the fridge, so I used whole milk for my roommate. And my goodness, I can feel my stomach rebelling. Absolutely, absolutely in total opposition to my choices. So we have 6 characters here. It's actually skewed. It's skewed a little bit towards, we're thinking 3 and 3, including the big creature. Let's do the creature here. Creature 3 and 3, but really it's kind of 4 and 3, with this person kind of bridging the gap and these people trying to get them, right? Cool. My girlfriend's funny. Let's go. All right. Let's try and round this out. Cool. So what's the composition for the lineup? I'm thinking maybe we want to have maybe like the Ninetales as the central figure, I'm thinking. Or maybe if we want to do, classic composition, rule of thirds. If we want to do third rules, then maybe we place evil on the left-hand side, perchance. We have the nine-tailed fox. Big takes up a lot of the page with all the beautiful tail wispies and whatnot. Right? And then we have the oh, we got Martin Bayes. Let's go. Welcome. Quace says, also welcome to the chat, Quace. Japan moved away from spirits representing everything when they had a technological boom. So it could be cool if the story takes place as it's transitioning back to spirituality or balance of the two. So that's kind of the idea here. Like, it's like a very precipice point, right? The technology in the world has been hyper commercialized. Like all of the classic tropes of cyberpunk and Neo Tokyo. However, grinding to a halt by this strange sort of replacement on top by this hyper AI that has a goal, and it needs to be overruled by the children of the mob bosses of the former era in order to restore it back into a more solar punkish environment, right? A more solar punk world where there's more harmony, So, and also, hi, buddy. Welcome to the chat. Welcome. This is a friendly reminder. So anybody watching this back is a recording. Feel free to like the video and subscribe and comment and do all that good stuff. And if you're watching live, you're a champ. What's up, guys? You guys rock. You guys are the best, and I really appreciate you hanging out with me while I go through this stuff. It really helps, and it's great to be able to talk these ideas out loud, and I hope everybody's getting something from it. Yeah. And if you want to see more, you can totally subscribe. You can totally turn on notifications if you wish, if you want to catch the live streams. All of them are recorded. All of them are free access. Everything's free. And if you want to support the stream, if you feel super compelled, there is a Patreon in the description that will give you access to the Discord, where we do cool character design challenges twice a week and talk about art and life. And it's really growing into a beautiful community, and it's been pretty wonderful. Oh man, yeah, everybody's been posting their work, and it's just so sick. Like, I'm so surprised the caliber of artists coming in, man. Just really great range and really great, really cool just expression of skill, man. It's been a real delight, for sure. Sick. So okay, so line up. We gotta think about this, man. Cool. Ninetales here has like a supreme feeling, like they're ruling over all, right? Maybe we don't have the tails rise above the head. Maybe the head stays above everything, like all other aspects or all other, right? The tails just cascade down. But we have to show the epic, strange posture of like an all-powerful being, right? What else? We'll figure that out later. Scooby-doo-doo-doo. We got some emojis in the chat. Let's go. That's cool. What else? Let's see. So let's run through. All right, we got the Miyobu. How do we show the Miyobu? It's got to be sick, right? So we'll do this into kind of thirds. So the bulk of the tails will be on this side. Part of it will be on that side. Character here. They need to be maybe taller than the other characters. Or, we can mess with scale. Maybe they're higher up somehow. Maybe they're high and they're on like steps. Right? Like we're allowed to represent our characters in any way we want. Woofja Buffja, welcome. I'm thinking maybe there's this bird popping off. I don't know if you guys hear it, but it's like popping off outside. It's going crazy. I don't know if it's like a baby and it wants its mom or like, but it's popping off, fully popping off here. I don't know. Our buddy Thomas Chamberlain Keene is judging this competition, so maybe we go for some kind of wacky perspective. Maybe we go for a wacky perspective, man. Maybe that's what we do. Right? Maybe we do some kind of thing. In any case, I definitely want the Tangu character to be very like hunched. Very hunched over. Maybe you can see his face peeking through. I don't know yet. Maybe we want the comp to be flow. Which means we have giant creature here. Mrah. Big creature. It's like whipping around I'm thinking maybe. That actually adds some spicy elements to it, I think. Right? We have like I mean, the other option would be something like super sick. Like let's just quickly, pull out a little A3 portrait. The other option would be to do the nine-tailed fox god. And the nine tails are like all pervasive in the comp. And then at the bottom, you kind of see everyone else, right? Like maybe the Miyobu is here. That kind of makes everyone an ally, though, unfortunately, which maybe we don't want. Because if they're all facing, right? Otherwise, we'd have to show their backs. And that doesn't show the character. That's just an illustration. Maybe we add more conflict. Maybe Tangu is like coming for blood. With a garish blade. Man, the lineup comp is always like one of the hardest parts, right? Or we section it off. You know what we could do? New idea. Nine-tailed fox is actually almost turning away, and their whole body takes up the side on this side. And their tails, like, take up all this space or whatever. Foreground and stuff. And that allows for maybe a spot where right, something like that. Because that allows for the pocket maybe on this side to be a little bit more like self-contained. It's got to look sick though. Actually, it doesn't have to be anything, to be honest. We don't have to do anything like anybody else in the challenge. It can be totally unique. So we could have the character on this side, the Ninetales, maybe drawing its like epically long sword. Yo, Salmon in the chat. Welcome. There's something about the Tangu mask that I think is gonna help. Like it's maybe it erases itself from like cameras. Like the Tangu mask itself is like it like does something to the coding, or like it's like untraceable. So it kind of turns him into a ghost. I like that idea. That'd be cool, right? Let's see. Could even place the characters a little more forward. The esteemed Baron of Bees. Exactly. All right, we'll make the Tangu guy like super cool. Yo, Lashy's gotta go. Dude, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. I saw the dragon. It looks sick. It looks so cool. Sick. No worries, Seth. Take care, buddy. We're nearing the end of the stream too. We just want to rough out this comp. See where we end up. So he's got a comically large sword. You gotta have someone with a comically large sword. This person's got a skinny sword, super long handle, super long blade. You know, we really want to have that like based silhouette, right? Cool fox character. Swing, the giant epic tails writhing around. All right. More active. Sick. Probably Tangu mask on the head. For this guy, not on. And maybe he's interacting here with his little brother. I feel like the kid's design can be pretty cheery and like fun. But the kid in like the big pants. Yeah. Some really cute. So their designs are distinct enough. So they have strong silhouettes, but you still see the interaction. So he's like, you know, scrabbling the hair. He's like, ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. And maybe we have some dead space where we have like the Miyobu character just like watching. Woofja Boofja says, this is really relaxing. Dude, I'm so glad. We're pretty chilled out now, man, you know? We rode out the wave of uncertainty around the ideas, and now we're just kind of enjoying it, you know? We're just kind of enjoying where we're at with the ideas, you know, what we've got so far. I think it's good. We're kind of enjoying ourselves. We'll be fixing the proportions too. So let's see. We want the flow to work. So what if we fix the angle here? And we try and make the classic, you know, schwunk, right? Schwunk. So I'm just going to say woof because it's saying the whole thing. I don't know how it's pronounced, but woof asks, is this all part of your own IP, all these streams? So yeah, everything I've worked on the stream has been all original IP stuff. I just do exclusively my own IP stuff usually. This is for an ArtStation challenge. So I'm kind of like making work based on the prompt of Neo Tokyo, but I'm making it all my own. Yeah, man. Dude, it's the way, yeah. I've been working on a few different things. I came up with some IPs on the stream live, which was cool. So I got to wrap those up too. I think the next stream, maybe tomorrow. Oh, actually, I'm probably streaming with James tomorrow. So I don't know if I'm streaming with James tomorrow, then I'll do stuff for that. But if I'm streaming for, actually, no, I could work on that IP. Totally, I could. Okay, so here's what we're saying with this image. What we're saying is he's worried about his brother. His brother is ideal. Miyobu is curious about the brother. Fox doesn't care about anything at all. And the Baku girl is focused on revenge. She wants revenge. That's her motivation. She's like fully mech'd out to get revenge. Or something, right? I'm going to do 3/4 so we can show a lot of the design. The tusks. Those are some cool elements we want to keep for sure. Cool. We'll figure this out, you know, pretty soonish, her design and stuff. But I think we needed this narrative context to continue designing. I'm wondering if I want to have the Miyobu like watching from like a wire somewhere. How that would work with the composition. Maybe making it smaller, a little bit more backgroundy. Gotta remember I have space too. So if we take all this, we can really mess with levels here. Maybe we have the big creature in action here. We could have the big guy in action over here. Salmon says, I'm not cheating now. I said I could do a guinea pig theme mech design in a couple of hours, and I will. I'm not just watching and drawing. Oh, good, man. Dude, do a guinea pig mech. That would be fun. Yeah, we could have this mech in action, and maybe he could be fighting this guy on this side, maybe. Puts him in like a cool dynamic pose, possibly. And like the background, you know? So you can have their silhouettes. They're like still legible characters. Or something. Gotta give the kid goggles. Every mechanic kid needs a big old pair of goggles. It's just it's a canon event, unfortunately. You gotta do it. Also fanny pack. Duh. Okay, that's nice. So what do we have here? What do we have going on? So we have the main brother, younger brother dynamic, but he's got the big old sword. He's gonna have to use it at some point. Watching over the little brother. The fox is just lord over all, right? We could even increase this scale even more as we continue. And the last one I'm not sure about is the Maybe we put him on the end. Right? So then we have giant creature, giant mech versus robot. Everybody loves a mech duel. Wow. Ooh. Paw on the ground, big chest. Gotta be able to see. He's looking too apish right here. Pretty sure we're supposed to maintain scale, though. You know? Gotta maintain scale. I think we do. I think we have to maintain scale, although I don't actually know. Cool. That leaves more room for the Ninetales to proliferate out, right? Older brother moment. We have creature battle. We love a creature battle. It's so sick. Wow. We're not drawing cleanly at all. He looks more apish here. Maybe we do more of a... Could be like coming up to him. Right? All things worth considering. There's also... Yeah, so we could... What could we do? It doesn't have to be a scene. It's just a collection of characters. But we want to maybe have like a split, like a grungy split between... good and not good and bad, but you know what I mean, like high tech and restorative forces. Well, we want to show off the characters, so let's say we could have this be a sketch. Well, let's just duplicate it out. So we have one. Let's say the Tangu is actually like wielding his sword here. right? This gives like sway to the comp. So we have king of the castle on top of the world, and then we have this, you know, Tangu character coming from below. Maybe the clash we see is actually the two. Wow, the two mechs are very similar, I'm noticing. But we could do the two. Like the Baku character and the Miyobu character facing off. Here. So you see a macrocosm and a microcosm. So we have the sweeping foreground. Boom. I think placing the kid maybe in the middle, like alone. Would be interesting narratively. This is too big. Okay. It's definitely too big. Tangu's about to pop off, dude. He's about to pop off. Swing, swing, baby. Swing, swing. Like the demon mask Tangu. Oh, so badass. So sick. Wait, I'm pretty sure, do the Tangu have horns? I don't think so. No, they're pretty wonky though. They're, you know, kind of gooberish, I think. Very, very goober core, the Tangu mask. Let's see. Okay. The Baku and the fox fighting. And then maybe we have the giant mech creature. And maybe the giant mech creature is actually just sitting. Defies all expectations. Is just sitting or something. Or do we even need the giant mech creature? I mean, it's cool, but what would another character do that would help the story? We have the kid, two kind of springy fighters that will foil each other, two protagonist, antagonist. We have protagonist, antagonist, side character, central thematic character. What's the last thing we need? Because what does a giant mech creature add to this dynamic? I don't know. I don't think it adds very much. What does it do? It doesn't really do anything, especially with the story we have. So I think we need maybe a there's an argument for a second kid, because two kids, there's a dynamic there, right? Miyobu. Swing, swing, clash. clash. Well, it has to be a robot character, right? Because we have robot, human. We need one more robot character. It would help if it was a baddie, wouldn't it? If it was AI versus people, that would be interesting. So who would the third mech be, though? Deformed humans. That's true. If there was a third... If there was a third AI character on the side of the foxes, what would it be? Because we have the Myobu, Spirit Guardian. We have the Baku screaming, eater of nightmares. I feel like we need another... Oh, this is nice, though. Oof. That feels nice. We need another, maybe antagonist. I don't know. Putting the kid in the middle, maybe. Maybe a AI made a human body for itself, but the body is falling apart. That sounds interesting. We want something... So, let's go back to our story. Got Neo Tokyo. That's another drawing. Okay. So we have... What was the thing? Yeah, we didn't need it when we were drawing these ideas, right? We could do... You know what idea I like? That's maybe kind of spooky. Is I like the idea that maybe the Myobu god has like taken a child and started to like cybernetically enhance them. Or no, because no, it has to be a robot. It can't be a person. So it's humans versus robots now. That's what we're doing. Humans versus AI. But the AI eventually either changes or it gets destroyed. We place the child in the middle because of narrative significance. That's kind of sick. I kind of like that a lot. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's go back to our sheet of spirits and see if we come up with something. What do we have going on here? Let's see. Let's go back down to our original page of strange ideas. This is where we started. We have the shoju. We have which is the drunken ape. Let's look at some more spirits, maybe. An AI child. I was thinking of maybe an AI child, right? Because I like the idea that maybe because I like the idea that maybe this AI like holds children in high regard. Maybe there's like the perfect child, the exemplary child. I like the idea of that. Maybe like an AI who sees the world in a certain way and is actually maybe key to like the change in perspective. Like maybe the Fox AI almost maybe like the Fox almost changes right before the castle is stormed by the good guys, and it gets like overrun, and there's a duel ensues, and then the ones who pick up the pieces is maybe like this child maybe almost gets destroyed too, but then maybe the kid is like, no, I know, maybe the whatever, like maybe the child speaks to the kid through the Myobu or something. Like there's some kind of like shared knowledge or some kind of like shared information there that's happening. I like that dynamic. That's interesting. So we have a perfect child too. that helps the silhouette as well, because then we have the big bad thing. We have this like perfect strange AI child. Right? Ooh. So looks like we lost use of our camera. So it shows that it's frozen right now. Which, damn, we've been going for a while. So it looks like we're gonna, gosh, I guess we could change out the battery. I mean, I do have a spare battery. Thank goodness, thank God, for such an occasion as this. This is so funny. Oh, see you later, Martin Bayes. Much love. I was gonna grab a battery for my camera. Man, this milk is really annihilating my system right now. Alrighty. Nice. Nice. All the joyful emojis. We love it. Okay, we're back. Boom, baby. Nice. So what do we got going on? We have a child at the center. We have another child over here. We need to have the levels be different, though. Maybe this child's here. Maybe they're sitting next to the nine tails. So we have the nine tails. We have the Tangu, the Baku, and the Miyobu about to duel it out, man. About to go off and have like a sick duel. Swing, swing. Swing, swing. Someone says, thank God. Sounds like a funny cyberpunk character. That's funny. Myth Conception says Destiny's Rasputin story arc is probably one of my favorite stories. Oh man, I don't know that one, I don't think. Sounds cool though. Sandman says he is the biggest, coolest looking character, but always gets beaten. Yeah, right? Sounds about right. Mojo says I didn't play Destiny 2. All I know about Rasputin is him sacrificing himself. Damn. There's lore here. There's lore. All right. Well, we'll figure this out later. But right now, I feel like this comp is pretty darn strong. So what do we have going on? We have clashing forces here, right? Tension, moment of tension. That builds up here. We also have the building tension around here. We have side character of potential importance, but off to the side, right? And we have central character, which is the kid, who's like, what the heck? I'm stuck between these two worlds of like dark criminality and the light, whatever. And I think on this side, we're going to be doing some like cool, I think, effects and like some cool designs, I'm pretty sure. And then on this side, we'll have like some, you know, that kind of stuff. The Tangu. All right, guys. Well, I think we made some progress here. So the only thing left is to solidify these archetypes like in a major way. Like, so we need some, you know, things to close off this stuff. We'll maybe show some city things in the background, very, very softly implied. Some like city elements and whatnot of Neo Tokyo. I think that'll be a way to sell the drama. And we'll probably push the perspective a little bit so things kind of curve and distort a little bit, because that's always dope when that happens. So we want that for sure. For sure. Mojo says, big lore. I love the composition. Let's go. Dude, I'm glad you like it. Because that way each character can fit on their own character page with these illustrations as well, which is what we want. We want to double these up use case wise. So we'll finish the design on the Baku. We have the Miyobu. We need a better drawing. Tango will do. Ninetales will do. Child will do. Another child will do. And then we're done. All we have to do is all the work, and then we're done. Yeah, so Myth says, I like how everyone is revolving around the child. That's the kind of like, that's what I'm hoping sells the strong narrative, right? Because the child being caught in the middle is very, very key here. We want that to be implied. We want people to ask questions about who this child is, who these beings are. We definitely want the fox to be more oppressive than this in the actual final. So what we'll probably end up doing is crunching this a little bit. Probably crunch this a little bit. And we'll probably push the fox even a little bit more. Probably end up doing something like that. And then we might double up, or we might shift the comp so that the Baku is up here and the Miyobu is down here. So that it's like, you know, swing, swing. That gives us the full thing then, right? That's what we want. What I want. Yeah, that's working. That's good. We like that. So we'll nix this. Figure out the comp here. That'll be a cool pose actually. That'll be like a good showcase pose. Then we'll do a sick one for the Miyobu as well. Boom. That's what we want. All right, guys. This has been fantastic. Let's do a little roundup. So what did we learn? We learned a lot about story. We pushed it a lot. So we figured out that Neo Tokyo is a world of warring clans. They became hyper-traditionalist. That was abused by the Nine-Tailed Fox to duel their way up through the ranks, you know, after witnessing the carnage of the kind of, you know, I won't say Yakuza, but the kind of like mob mentality stuff. And the children of those mob bosses come together to abolish the hierarchy altogether and like restore Tokyo and try to bring it into a solar punk future with the help of the child and the perfect child as well. The perfect mech child. They'll work together and they'll create a new world. And we have this epic, cool, interesting, you know, bish bash bosh thing. And we'll have some more organic elements on this side, and we'll have some more AIE elements on this side. So it implies that kind of, you know, dichotomy, right? Well, this has been absolutely fantastic, and you guys have been amazing. So let's do a little roundup. If you're watching this live, you're the best. Thank you. Thanks for joining, and thanks for being here. You guys are sick and awesome. Here, I'll do a little full cam. And if you're watching the recording of this, wow, you made it to the end. I am very impressed. That's incredible. You know, you must have listened to me, you know, complain a lot and do a lot of that stuff, and I really appreciate you coming around. And if you want to see more content, you can definitely subscribe to the channel. You can definitely like this video if you liked it. You can comment any, you know, ideas or anything you thought about, any questions you have for the next stream in the comments. I've been really bad about replying to the comments, so I'm going to go through and check all of that and make sure that all of that's under control and everything. But yeah, you guys have been fantastic. And yeah, I will catch you on the next one. The next stream is going to be tomorrow. If I might be streaming with Modern Day James tomorrow, and if so, I'll announce it on my Instagram, put the link there, or you might just see it, or I'll make a little community post or something on the channel. So, but if not, I'll be here. But yeah, everybody, you've been great and fantastic, and I will see you tomorrow. Cool. Peace out.